Hey, what's up everybody? Some of you might be surprised by the title of this video, but I thought that it was appropriate for me to make one, just kind of explain everything that's happened within the past week. So yes, obviously, I've decided not to go to Spain, and the reason being why is the main one is that I was told that I need to relinquish my pro status here in the United States in order to go to the Arnold Classic in Europe, in Spain, to compete as an amateur. And I can totally see why that they would want me to relinquish my pro status, because technically I would be an amateur over there, but I thought at least going overseas there would be different rules and that my pro status honestly wouldn't mean a hell lot over there. Unfortunately, I would have to sign away my pro status here in the United States, and to be honest, I've worked way too hard to obtain that. I've been bodybuilding since 2011, and my main goal has always been to become a professional natural athlete, and then to be eventually, like I am this year, to try to compete for a world championship within the United States. So in the grand scheme of things, I am just getting started with my natural bodybuilding career here within the United States. Although Spain was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for someone to pay for me to go, it's just that. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It would literally be the only time that I'd ever go overseas to compete. And my main focus is and has always been the United States Natural Bodybuilding Federations, in particular the IPE, and this year I am going to try the OCB to try to compete in the Orton Cup. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I'm not here to slander anybody. I probably should have asked a few more questions before I went to do this show in Austin. I was under the impression that I'd be okay competing as a pro there and then going overseas. Now, I have talked to a few other people who've competed in this organization before, who are current natural pros. They did not have to relinquish their pro cards when they competed as a pro internationally. So there's definitely, some gray areas when it comes to who decides to enforce the rules and who doesn't. But it is what it is. I'm definitely going to follow by the rules. So I've chosen not to go to Spain, and my main focus has and always will be to continue to compete in the U.S. Natural Bodybuilding Federations. In particular, I'm still gearing up for the Kansas City Pro International on September 15th. My goal there is to place the top half of my class to qualify for IPE Worlds. And then in October, I will be competing at the Orton Cup. And then hopefully back in November, I will be competing at IPE Worlds itself. So this year, it was the year that I've really been gearing myself up for the past 3.5 years. For the past 7 years. I sit here wearing the bodybuilding shirt that I got at my first bodybuilding show, back in 2011, and my dream has always been to become it was the IFPA then, now it's the IPE, but the, IPE World Champion, IFPA World Champion, OCB World Champion. And the grand scheme of things, me competing internationally wouldn't mean all that much to me as much as it means within the United States. So I've talked to some people, I've got their opinions. Basically everybody just told me, you have to decide what's best for you and what you're most passionate about and what means the most to you. And obviously competing here in the United States means the most to me, without a doubt. Now granted, I would love to be able to represent the United States internationally if it didn't mean giving up my pro status here in the US. But I've chosen, to stay within the United States, to compete in the organizations that I firmly believe in, that actually drug test you, and that there is an even playing field. So I know some people might have, gone elsewhere. They might have taken the opportunity to compete internationally. They may have said that, they would earn their pro status back. But the way that I look at it is I'm not going to sign a contract with somebody if I'm only an amateur athlete. So they essentially were going to have me sign away my pro cards here just in order to compete as an amateur. There's no signing bonus. I'm not, LeBron James going to the Lakers. I would be an amateur, and I'm not getting paid to sign away my pro status. They don't pay me here in the United States just to compete. I have to earn the right to compete, and that's the way I've always looked at it. Is I'm going to go, like I said in the past video that I made, I'm going to go where natural bodybuilding takes me, and they forced their hand on me this time, which is totally fine. I mean, I guess I did have a decision, but it was a very easy one to stick within the United States and to choose the organizations that have brought me up. So I am very, very excited to take my talents. I feel like LeBron James here when he went to Miami. Take my talents to the Pro International. like I've always planned, and stick to my guns, and then try to make a run at it with IPE Worlds this year, try to make a run at the Yorton. So really, in the grand scheme of things, my plan from the beginning of the year to right now and going forward has not changed. The whole competing internationally thing was just going to be kind of a cherry on top, more of an experience kind of a thing. And it's unfortunate that it didn't work out. I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much, because in reality, I wasn't planning on doing it, and now I'm still not doing it. So the end goal didn't really change. I'm going to keep pushing for the Kansas City Pro International, and that class is going to be unreal. There's going to be a ton of guys that are competing in the pro lineup that are probably going to be lightweights. I don't know too many of the heavyweights right now, but the lightweight contest at the Pro International is going to be unreal. So hopefully you guys will be able to catch that, and I can only imagine what kind of talent is going to be brought to IPE Worlds this year. So I'm very, very thankful for a lot of you guys for supporting me no matter what I choose. But yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with the IPE, with the Natural Bodybuilding Federations within the United States. I'm not giving up my pro status just to compete as an amateur. And you know, maybe some people have different opinions, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me, what's best for my career, and you know, where I started the journey from. So thanks as always, guys. Keep dominating in every aspect.